My name is Jayson Howe. I've spent the last 10 years working as a photographer. I'm here in Moscow to give a masterclass and to give 2 lectures. It has been, but there's different ways of doing photojournalism. Some you can choose to do stories that no one else is doing, and then you feel as though you've made some good contribution because you told a story that no one else is telling. In the flat as the person who's got a bad bag, and I've got a bad bag. I've seen places like this on TV. Wow. This is pretty Russian, isn't it? But it's like, yeah, now if you come back, don't make a mess, don't trash the place, because, Right, very good. Cheers.
Cheers. Sweet dreams.
Прямо сейчас, через 5 минут, пойдем в эфир.
Sometimes when I'm feeling, a little sort of depressed about things,
очень расстроен тем, что вижу вокруг себя.
I think that all of the people that inspired me to become a conflict photographer are either dead or mad.
Вдохновили меня тем, чтобы стать фотографом военных действий, они либо сошли с ума, либо умерли.
There are some amazing photographers out there who've been doing it 30-40 years. I have no idea how they manage to keep doing it. Even 10 years is quite exhausting.
Даже 10 лет это очень истощает.
So it's very difficult. So if you see a member of that group that would get killed, that has quite a big impact on you. They're not just a subject in front of the camera.
Это очень сильно на вас воздействует, не просто предмет перед вашей камерой.
На ваших глазах происходило что-нибудь?
Has anything happened in front of you ever?
Yes, I mean my first ever conflict picture,
мои первые фотографии с войны,
which I made in Colombia, was of 3 government soldiers who had just been blown up by a roadside bomb.
Бомбы на дороге.
So it's no longer all that easy to keep thinking that it is not going to happen to you.
Так что очень сложно не думать о том, что это когда-то может с тобой случиться.
Just smiling at people, which is the last thing they expect. They expect you to be scared. So if you smile and look at them as though you're so happy to see them, that kind of puts them off guard a bit. Things like making sure that you're not wearing sunglasses so people can see your eyes and they can,
вы не угрожаете им, не носите, например, солнечные очки.
Because that's how a lot, people communicate hugely by what they can see in your face, what they can see in your eyes.
Видите, что на вашем лице.
I started smoking because I was always carrying cigarettes, so you could make friends with people. You offer cigarettes to rebels at checkpoints and soldiers and so on.
Например, солдатами.
The thing is, because of the security issues, you have to be a little bit careful about telling people too much about where you're from.
Соображения безопасности не стоит рассказывать людям много о том, кто вы и откуда.
I will always be an outsider. It wouldn't make any difference at all. But the problem now is that there's so many people wanting to do conflict photography.
Так много людей, которые хотят сейчас ехать на войну и снимать.
Young people, they're not really worrying too much about getting paid. They're looking for opportunities to maybe make a name for themselves.
О том, чтобы им платили, они просто хотят сделать себе имя в основном.
That is very competitive.
Это там очень большая конкуренция.
And I'm not really in it to be competing.
Я вообще не очень хочу участвовать в конкуренции. Я
really.
Хочу делать то, что я чувствую важным для себя.
Спасибо большое. Британский фотожурналист Джейсон Хоу был сегодня гостем «Эхо Москвы». Спасибо вам.
Thank you.
До свидания.
Всего доброго. Спасибо. But the big cards are a nuisance. I have one 32 gig SanDisk card, and it keeps jamming.
Jamming?
Yeah.
Why?
You put it in the reader, and you put it in, and it says can't find any data. So I take it out and I smash it on the desk 5 times, put it back in, and then it reads it. And I did the focus, and nothing happened all the way from one end to the other. So I was like, okay, what shall I do? And I remember reading that sometimes the rangefinder gets damaged because it gets stops working. So I got it and I just hit the Leica against a tree, and I looked through and did it, and it was working fine. And it's worked ever since. So if we just divide them between us, that's great. I'm happy with that. I've got this music, so we can see how he's done it. We can replicate it.
So are you going to Skype?
Yeah. Yes, Sasha, yes. give it a go.
When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Hi mate, it's Jason calling from Moscow. Bit of a long shot. I wondered if you've got a copy of the Frontline Club Columbia presentation on you or uploaded to iDisk or something somewhere where I can download it, because we've got a bit of a disaster with the one here. If you can just text a response to me, my phone is receiving incoming text. Cheers mate, bye. And you know, there's a soldier who got out of that vehicle one day and walked away and never came back. And that vehicle will only have been moved a few metres probably from where it was abandoned. If you were doing it because you wanted to change things, or you thought it was very important for everyone else, you could end up being very disillusioned. And one day you're like, well, I risked my life for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and it makes no difference, I've wasted my time. Whereas if you're doing it for your own personal experience, it's very selfish, but you're not going to be unhappy, because if you're still alive. You're like, I found it fascinating, I learned lots of things, I tested myself, I was scared, I learned about other cultures, I learned about extremes and so on. The soldiers would say, no, come on, keep photographing this, keep taking pictures, we want people to know what happens to us, what we go through, what we endure. Really, virtually the last picture I took in Colombia was that picture of her daughter standing next to her too. Say who I am. They know who I am, don't they? So here we are on the main thoroughfare through Moscow, watching the fireworks salute as part of the May Day, Victory Day celebrations. All of the traffic has stopped. I'm not quite sure why, but maybe something important is coming along. The main ingredient that you need really is a passion and a real will to succeed and follow your dream.